Right. Hi there. Hi, Shaza. Um, I am just totally honored that you have joined us. You are just such a beautiful, active, positive, giving member to the group, Dare to Begin Life Coaching. And you've just got so much inside of you that I would love to know about you. And
Thank
and yeah, and the first one is about your near-death experience, and
Yeah.
you actually had two. You said
Yes, yeah,
in 2005 and in 2013.
sure did.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
whoa. First of all, just to begin with the what did you think about dying before you actually went through it?
Um, well, because my brother had been murdered, and I'd experienced a little bit of death before that. But no one really close, really. My brother was the first person. So yeah, death was to me pretty horrendous. But never really thought about myself, perhaps possibly experiencing it and then being able to talk about it. That makes any sense.
Oh, definitely. It's well, I suppose doesn't make sense to somebody that hasn't experienced it. It doesn't make sense. But I'm just all ears and really curious about the whole experience. So you had the experience of your brother being murdered. Could you explain that?
Yeah, so that was completely unexpected. Very heartbreaking. I'll try not to cry. 17 years down the track now, but it still hurts. So he was in a house fire, and he went in to save someone's life. He then was stuck up on a second floor building. And they had a trampoline thingy for him to jump into from that second, and he didn't want to jump. He was scared of heights. So he grabbed a down pipe, which unfortunately was metal, and it was hot. And that made me cry. That melted his hands and some of his face.
Yeah.
Which after that, he had multiple skin grafts, and he spent about 8 months in the hospital. So from there, he didn't like being indoors, which obviously is understandable. This happened in Christchurch. And he pretty much he hit the streets, and he found a little campsite and put a little tent up. And his hands were like literally like that, clawed. So he was disabled after that. So what happened was on February the 8th, 2004, two guys, literally random guys, did not know him from a bar of soap. They spotted him in this little shelter, and they called him an ugly, homeless, horrible person. And then they basically went back the next night when my brother was there, and they beat him to death. They stabbed him. They stomped on his head to finish him off while he was laying face down on the ground. And he really didn't stand a chance. He had 51 injuries from his neck down in the autopsy report. So, yeah, that in itself was huge. It was, how do you even, yeah.
And how old were you when this all happened?
Pardon?
How old were you?
So I was 29 when this happened. And sorry, I must have been 31 and he was 29. Yeah. I've always called him my twin, even though we're not, but we were that close, very, very close. Now, something I haven't shared, I might as well. The night he was murdered, believe it or not, I woke up at 5 to 3 in the morning and I was petrified and I didn't know what was, and I was like, why am I so scared? And I literally got up, I turned the light on and I looked in my bedroom mirror, and I swear to God, I saw my brother's face. And I thought, oh my God, Shannon. And I was really unsettled for the rest of that night. And then at 5 in the morning, my dad called me and he said, where are you? And I said to him, I'm at a friend's place. And he said, I'm coming to get you. And I just stopped immediately because I knew in that moment something was wrong. So I said to him, why? And he said, just stay where you are. I'm coming to get you. And I just said to him, is it Shannon? And he said, yes. And I said, is he okay? You know, actually, I said, is he dead? And he said, yes, we think he's been murdered. So,
I bet feelings that were running through your body, your heart racing, and you must have gone through so much trauma through that experience.
Yeah, it wasn't something you'd really want to, go through again.
It's funny, Shazza, but when my sister passed, it was about 5 in the morning as well, and the phone rang 3 times, and it rang simultaneously the same time for my sister and Lanika. So we had the phone ringing at the same time, and we picked up the phone, but there was no one on the other end. So it was the past sort of, it was their way of saying goodbye to us.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% agree with that. 100%.
And so I can understand that. I can really understand that. Now, can you tell us? I mean, that would have just totally upheavaled your reality. You probably weren't the same after that experience. You must.
No, I definitely wasn't. I don't know, the word shell shocked. Just absolutely unbelievable and unexpected. So unexpected.
It changed your reality for life, I bet, after that.
Yeah, it sure did.
And so it's just unfair, unjust. It's such a shame of a life and a good soul.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about your cardiac arrest, and you said in 2005.
Yeah.
Can you tell us?
After going through the murder trial, and then the guy's getting 17 years non parole, and you've got the media on you and all the hype, and then everything just sort of it all starts to calm down. So basically, I was with my dad's wife, my stepmom, and we were heading off to get my then stepdaughter's Madison twins, Madison and Victoria, birthday presents. So I can't remember if they were 6 or 7. And we'd gone into Toy World Hamilton, believe it or not. So literally parked up the car, walked into Toy World, brought one. I remember buying a doll's house and some other doll that the other twin wanted, as you do. One was pink, one was purple, and then nothing. So next thing I pretty much knew, I'd woken up in hospital in ICU, and apparently as I'd got to the counter with my stepmom, I'd literally just dropped to the ground and stopped breathing. In that moment, there just so happened to be an ambulance literally 1 street away. So the paramedics were on the scene within a few moments, and they did literally CPR there, and boom, into the ambulance and up to the hospital.
Can you remember anything from that particular experience, like from at the counter, anything?
So from the counter, absolutely nothing at all. But what I did experience during that time, which they specialists, or I had a specialist lady want me to talk to her about it so she could put it in a book, because she was doing the death experiences. What actually happened was, for me, I was walking down what I thought was like a corridor, and that's the only way I can explain it. It just seemed like a corridor, and I heard this beautiful voice, and it was beautiful. It was a female voice, and she said, "He's behind the door." And then the next thing I knew, I'm going to get a bit teary now. The next thing I knew, I saw my brother, and you can, I don't know if you knew, but I opened my brother's coffin, and I shouldn't have seen him in that way. I wanted to see him one last time, but anyway, there he was. He was standing there. He was absolutely magnificent. His hair was long, like I remember. There were no burns. And he smiled. And in that moment, that one moment, I swear to God, this joy that radiated from him hit me square in the chest, like square. And I felt something that I've never, ever felt in my entire life. And I can't feel it now. It was gone after that, if that makes any sense. Now, unbeknownst to me, at that time, they were actually putting the shockers on the chest, those shocky things. I think that's why my hair went curly actually after that. But
really? Wow.
I got way more curlier. Anyway, so they put the shockers on, I believe, numerous times, about 7, I believe, all up within that 48-hour period. And the last time they shocked me back, they said that I said, "Let me through the door. I want to be with my brother." So I came to the conclusion he was put there to stop me and to let me know that he was okay and he was at peace, because I certainly wasn't.
And that joy you talked about, you've never felt that before, eh?
No. And nothing in this world, there is nothing. It was so incredible, and it was only then, I literally felt it when I came to, if that makes any sense. But I have never, ever felt it again. It was beyond anything of the realms of this world. It was just incredible.
So could you, it just makes you want to, it makes you want to die.
It was just, I can't even recreate it. Well, I don't think I'd ever get it back.
Yeah. Could you tell me a little bit about when you were actually in that place, in that heavenly place, did you hear anything? Like, could you hear angels, or could you see anything behind your brother or anything?
No, this first one was entirely different to when I had the second one, further down the track. No, what I did hear was the most beautiful female voice that just, I don't know where it was, but it was female, and she said to me, "He's behind the door." And that's when suddenly my brother was there. So that was that entire experience. Just,
and yeah. Down the corridor, what was it? A dark corridor? Was it? How was that?
I don't even remember. It's like, I just remember knowing that I was, maybe it was a tunnel. Maybe it was a tunnel. I mean, I don't know. I just was walking. So, yeah.
And you didn't feel scared or anything walking?
No, it just felt completely at natural and completely at peace. And this female's voice just felt like, I don't know, it was just beautiful. Beautiful.
It sort of makes me feel that, it's, many of us are scared of death, but many people that have died, that they actually don't want to come back. Did you?
Oh, believe me, when I actually realized I was back, I didn't actually want to be back. After I had a taste of that what I can only call joy, because I don't really know that word that you'd use to describe that feeling. But I knew that I'd never feel it again. You can't feel that on earth. if that makes any sense.
Everybody who has gone on the other side have said that I've heard.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody that has gone past the gates has said that they just don't want to return. Do you know what, my girl, my soul sister? What we're going to do is I want you to talk about your other experience at another time.
Yeah, cool.
Because
I agree.
I want,
that's an entirely different one.
yeah, because I think that there's so much here for us to sort of take in, that it's mind-blowing, and we need to sort of take a bit and feel it and understand it, and and I don't want to ruin it with, not ruin it, but I just don't want to put anything else on it. I want to just
I agree, because even just like talking about that experience is like, I'm sitting here thinking about it now, and I'm like, wow, that actually, I can say this, that when I was recovering in hospital, which was quite some time, a good month, they were actually going to do put the pacemaker in then that I have now from the second one. Then they decided, oh, hey, look, she's young, she's healthy, we'll put her on heart tablets, and we'll leave it there. But yeah, even for me bringing it up, so it's brought up a lot of emotions, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm fair to say this, but in a sense, you're not afraid of death after this. I mean, that's what I got out of this, which I might be wrong.
No, I'm obviously afraid of feeling a physical death. Like any, I think any of us are. Like, okay, example, I've got this pacemaker, and if my heart goes out of rhythm, do I feel fear? Yeah, absolutely, because I can't control that. But knowing I was going to go out there on the other side, no. What I felt was, it was just incredulous.
Somebody, and actually I've heard these words from some people that have passed and come back. Fearless living. When they came back, they started to live fearlessly. Would you say that's how you feel now?
Yeah, it definitely changed my perception of life, and it definitely changed my perception of death. Do I still fear murderers? Yes. Do I still fear, being hurt or being tortured before dying? Absolutely. But did it change my outlook on life in general? Yeah, definitely. And now I don't take for granted the fresh air, the sunshine.
Our children.
Oh, definitely our children. Yeah, definitely. And people.
The blessing is, I don't know, I just think of my girls and, actually.
Oh, I know. That's it. I think I got a real bit of a fear too now, because I've lost someone I love so much. I'm like, not my kids. So take my kids, and it's like, just not, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. But yeah, I mean, life is unpredictable. This world is, isn't it?
And the thing is that we can't sort of, I think when you see what's on the other side, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's absolutely nothing. It's just so much love, unconditional acceptance, and just peace.
Yeah, and it's beyond anything that you can ever. I can't recreate it. Like, I can't feel that way again. But it's beyond anything we have here. Anything. So. Yeah, I say to people, look, like, I had a friend that passed to cancer, and he was with me on the second cardiac arrest. I met him in hospital, and he's passed now. But again, we talked about it. I said to him, Shane, look, honestly, I said, it's so beautiful. And what we fear, I think, is, and because we're human and it's normal, we are scared. None of us want to go in some horrendous manner. But I do know this, whatever I felt after that, down that corridor, was absolutely amazing. And my brother was like, he was radiant, so yeah.
Yeah, so happy after what he had been through with being disabled and living out on the streets and having 51 attacks on him, on his body, 51 places where he was injured. And then
from the neck down, that was just that. They also stabbed. He ended up laying. So he fought as much as what he could, and they were way bigger than him. But he ended up face down on the ground, and he was literally dying then. But what they did was even more horrendous. They stabbed him in the lower back twice, and because he still wouldn't die, he's a bit like me, stubborn as hell. They then finished him off by jumping on his head and caving in his skull. So it was not cool. It was just like.
It sounds pretty. It sounds pretty. What I'm going to say now is it will probably be way hard. What I'm going to say, but when those people pass, they will be going through the same thing they did to your brother. I believe they will be inflicted with the same pain that they gave to your brother, unless they
particularly if there's unrepentance, if there's no remorse, then I've got no mercy. It's like, yeah.
As you said, we can redeem ourselves by going to the Lord and actually confessing what we've done, because the Lord is so merciful. And we don't know people's background, why they did this. Well, we just don't know.
No, we don't. We don't. And yeah, I mean, that's I guess that's their journey now, because they're now up for parole. So I did my very first parole hearing last January, and I've got the next one this January, and that has been horrendous. And it's something now I've got to deal with too. It's these guys, they want them out. So and that's the next chapter.
And you're actually going to court and actually seeing the people that inflicted that pain to your brother.
No, they're not going to. They don't do that to us, which is quite good. We had to do that in court for the hearing. That was the hard one. No, what we do now is we sit before a parole board and we have to listen to all the courses that they've done and how they're trying to. And one's worked in the canteen and isn't so angry now, and it's just like, it's not the best journey, but I'm not the only person in the world that's had to go through this, losing loved ones to these kinds of people. So
do you know what?
I just take it as it comes.
Power to you, Shaz. I mean, you are a inspiration. Your power to all of us. You ignite something in my heart. You've through your story and through who you are, and you've come out of this being the most giving, kind, open-hearted person. And power to you. That's all I can say to you.
Thanks. Well, it took me a while. It's taken 17 years to be able to. This is the first time really I've ever done anything like this and actually spoken about it. So this is big for me. But I trust you, Despina, and you have a way of getting people like myself. Well, anyway, you made me feel like I could trust enough to be able to do this, and I think it's a good thing because I need to let it out. People need to know, and I hope that it helps somebody else.
Do you feel cathartic? Do you feel that it's helping you cope with this, helping you?
Yeah, I don't know that I could have done this 5 years ago. but as I say, with the right person, like such as yourself, and then it just felt right. It feels good. Feels good to talk about it. Thanks.
And you know what? That's the aim of the group. The group is the reason why George and me opened up this group, was to bring people that have gone through like trauma or gone through some kind of pain or whatever, to come together and to bring their experiences to the table so we can all help them.
Yeah, and I hope this encourages someone else in the group. Hey, Nat, and I'm just thinking of you right now, Natalie. Maybe she might not be ready yet, but maybe in some time Nat might want to share her journey. And whoever of you else out there, maybe you've got something that's traumatic that you might want to share. And I just hope my story and my journey helps somebody else, because,
I really want to interview you again, because you're just such a deep person. There's so much there.
The second one's in 2013. Now, this was pretty trippy, so I look forward to doing that with you guys. So actually, I looked down on myself in this one.
Yeah, I really want to hear, not yay that it happened, but yay that we're going to bring people in and, talk about this and make people just not fear.
Yeah, my very close friend Lana Ryan was with me, and maybe she might even want to say something, because I feel so sorry for her, because she actually had to watch me drop dead, and then these two strangers, one being a 5 foot, but we'll save that.
Yeah, no, don't talk about that. We're going to make people have people are going to want to know. So we'll leave people in suspense. Shaz, I'm going to say thank you so much for joining and share
peace, love and rainbow.
And share peace, love and rainbows all at you, girl, all at your solstice. And thank you.
Okay, cheers everyone. God bless.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.